welcome to Brewers Anonymous Monthly. This is the video recap of the monthly members meeting for the Brewers Anonymous Homebrew Club in Orlando, Florida. This video will cover the meeting that took place on Friday, December 19th, 2025 at Ivanhoe Park Lager House. And we'll start, as we always do, with the club motto, strength through unity, unity through Zymergy. And we want to take a second to thank our supporters, Ivanhoe Park Lager House, Home State Brewing Company, the American Homebrewers Association, and Tactical Brewing Company. Now, this may be the last video of this format that I record for our monthly meetings. And if you're subscribed to YouTube, you probably already know why. It's kind of redundant. We'll talk about that really shortly here. But I did want to state that I am putting this video out because I did all the 11 other months of the year. And I wanted to complete the entire year. And even though this is kind of redundant, if you know about the addition to YouTube I'm about to talk about, even though it's redundant to that, I wanted to complete the entire project for the year. So this isn't going to be the last update video I do. In fact, I'll probably do many more for Hot and Humid and other specific things. But as far as the monthly video goes, you've probably seen that we are now video recording our meetings on the night of the meetings. Now, this was actually supposed to be a gear and app test. We were just testing this out to launch this in January, but it came out pretty good. Definitely worth sharing. And the test was for the microphones that Mike and I had worn, and it uses an app that records through video the way we want the audio to be recorded for easier editing. So it was no big deal to go ahead and video the meeting as a test. I have a tripod, I have a clamp for the iPhone on, and I have plenty of storage on my phone. So we recorded it. And like I said, it came out good enough to share. The audio was beyond what we expected it to be, but the video came out just as well to start this project. Now, it's not a perfect video. There's some things we want to change. Definitely the framing I want to work on, as I think I mentioned in the, I know I mentioned it. I think the phrase I used was my ample midsection, some of the framing on that. But that's a personal thing. It's not like I don't know that exists either. And seeing that on repeats over and over, editing the video kind of makes me want to do something about this. So maybe that was a good thing altogether. But regardless of that, I want to work on the framing of the video, where we stand, how everything's set up so we can have the slides added to the video. This will improve and should hopefully lead to actually streaming it on meeting nights. We'll see. That's kind of the ultimate goal once we get all those other parts done. So with these being done every month and me repeating everything that's in the meeting, this video you're watching now, this format, is a little redundant. But like I said, I want to finish it out for the year. So let's get through this. We had our final club challenge. It was the December club challenge of high ABV beers. Beers are over 8%. We had 9 entries. I think that's one of the larger ones we had this year. And I'll go through the winners now because we have something to reveal at the end that I don't want to steal thunder from. So, third place was Jason Breckling. Second place, Chris Newber. And we had a tie for first place between Max Firth and David Fetty. So, congratulations, everybody. And thank you, everyone, that not only participated in this challenge, but all the challenges throughout the years that we were able to complete all 6 challenges that we set out for the club. So thank you, everybody that participated and brewed for these club challenges. We have a reorder for the hats that you're seeing on screen. I'm not even sure how many years we've had these since before I was there. They predate me, and I'm not sure Mike, but definitely me. So these have kind of been, even though we have a couple on the Spreadshirt site as well, this is kind of the hats that we've had traditionally for years, and we just ran out about mid-year, I think at Hot and Humid, actually. I think we sold our last one. So we have a reorder coming. So once they come, they should be here by the January meeting, but once they come, we will let everyone know what the cost is going to be, first of all, and how to purchase them. So more on that probably in the actual next meeting video. There's a vice president update, and it's all Hot and Humid. It's kind of a rehash of, well, it starts off with a rehash of what we talked about last month. So I'm still looking for 2 seller hands. We're looking for donation solicitors, particularly for local breweries. I'm looking for multiple brewers, not as many as I started looking for. We'll talk about that here in the next slide. And I'm going to change the improvement committee to just a Hot and Humid committee if there's anything you want to get on board for to help. What's the word I'm looking for? And make the entire experience, elevate the entire experience. There you go. That's a good way to say it. So, talking about the Brewers. So we have an opportunity here to do something that I don't think has ever been done in the circuit before. So these, I should have put something here for scale. These are representing 8-ounce cans. I have a ton of 8-ounce cans, and my can sealer has an adapter for 8-ounce cans. I've been using 8-ounce cans for different things, not nearly as often as 12 and 16-ounce cans. In fact, 12-ounce cans are like kind of my go-to. I'd say 90% of the time I'm canning something in a 12-ounce can, but I have all these 8-ounce cans. I am donating the cans, and I would like 4 brewers in the club, whatever you brew, 4 brewers in the club to brew something so we can give out something that I believe is going to be the first ever judges flight. A lot of clubs put in beers for the judges, a single beer. Could be, who knows what the inspiration is. Some are like a barrel project for a club. Others are a collab with whomever. And ours was last year Brewer of the Year. We had Bill Carley come up with a recipe. We brewed it and gave everyone 2 16-ounce cans. I would like to do this judges flight, starting with, as you see on the left, this is just a what do you call it? A holder label. This is not the label that's going to be on it, but our Brewer of the Year for the club, he gets the first slot, or she. That's probably going to be he, but they get the first slot of the beer, and now we have 3 others. I will tell you, I also have a commitment to 1 other, so there's only 2 left right now. So it's kind of going fast. I did toy with the idea of doing 6 beers and mix and matching them, but now I think I'm stretching myself too thin to get everything done. So we're going to stick with 4 this time and see what next year brings. So same deal as last year. Brewer of the Year gets a custom label. The other brewers are going to have these general labels that we're showcasing our Brewer of the Year. And the Brewer of the Year will also have their ingredients paid for. There's a couple other things I'm working on. Well, actually, let's get to the next slide just to kind of show we're still going to be able to identify what the beer is or whatever the brew is, I should say, is inside the can. We're going to put a label on the back with the name, the brewer, the style, and some information on it. So they won't be opening these blind. They'll know what they are. So let's go. I think there's a last slide on the can. So signups, they've already started, even though I tried my best to say wait till after the holidays to start planning this. I broke my own rule. No one broke it but me. I've already started planning this. So if you're seeing this and you're just hearing about this and you have a question or want to possibly volunteer, we can discuss it now. I don't need to necessarily wait till after the holidays at this point now because the ball's already rolling. There's a couple other pieces to this, at least one big one that I need to discuss with the board, and the board was just named this meeting for 2026. So next month will be the complete picture of what this is, assuming we go forward on these ideas. I may have already given you the complete picture without knowing it, but I think there's at least one thing in there I can add. But until I get board approval, I'm kind of just keeping that not under wraps. I'm not over promising and under delivering is what I'm trying not to do here. So that is going to be, I think, I don't know if it's a game changer because I don't know how many other people are going to want to go through this, but it's going to be something unique that's going to catch some sort of attention, I think. And I also started this project for the judges' gift bags. Last year, we gave away a few hundred stickers, and there were stickers of the club, the competition, there were some beer specific stickers from events that we had left over. Those are all but gone. I have like maybe 20 left. I don't even think I have 20 of those left. And I don't want to reorder a bunch of stickers again. Stickers are actually can get fairly expensive, although I have found that once you type in stickers once into Google, all of your social media sends you all kinds of coupons. So we might have some more stickers in plan, but I do have, without getting into why I even have this, I have a button maker from another project years ago that as I was kind of re-straightening up my area of where I do recordings like this and I do my work from home, I found it again, and I found about probably, I'd say 1,000, probably more than 1,000 pieces of 1.5-inch button to make 1.5-inch buttons. So I know a lot of us have our own home brewery logo. That's mine right there, that orange monster, Big Monster Brewing. That's my wife's on the right. If you have a logo let me know. And if you would like it made into a button and put in the judges' bags, that's all you have to do. Well, you have to show me where I can get it. And if it's not somewhere online that I can get it, then you have to send it to me. But even if it's just on Instagram, just send me your Instagram page. I'll find it. I'll upscale it. I'll print it, and I'll make the button. I can't make this any easier for you to be involved this year. All you have to do is tell me, yeah, I want to do that. That's it. That is it. So, along with the brewery homebrewer logo buttons, we're giving a Hot and Humid 2026 and what has become one of our most popular designs, the I4 Eyesore Brewers Anonymous button as well. So we gave those away at Orlando Beer Fest, and they're a huge hit. So yeah, that's all you gotta do. Just tell me that you want to be part of it, where to find it. I'll take care of the rest. So here's our dates. We ran through this again. What do we got here? So here's the dates, and I've been through this before, but May 2nd, entry is going to open. May 10th through 23rd is delivery. 24th is going to be bottle sort. Judging the 30th and 31st, 6th and 7th of June. Well, I guess it's to say all those dates before that were May. Then 6th and 7th of June. May 13th and then best of show May 14th. Unless we need the extra day to judge, then we will push that to the 27th. And then June 27th should be the awards, unless we can't book a venue. Then the 28th, which is a Sunday, will be the backup. And as I mentioned before, there is a gap between the weekend of the 14th and the weekend of the awards, or the last weekend of judging and the weekends of the awards, because of HomebrewCon. So that's what that is all about. We don't expect to take judge best of show to take 2 weeks. It's because most of us will be at HomebrewCon. And last but not least, if you are starting to bottle for the competition season, which is kind of starting the first month of the year, as we'll talk about here in 2026, save your boxes. Please save your boxes, because there's nothing worse about working a homebrew, any event, hot and humid included, when you don't have the right boxes, when you have off-size boxes that bottles just don't fit in right, or bags. We had shopping bags, like not plastic shopping bags, but like tote bags. That's the worst. Please save your boxes. If one competitor that still bottles in our club can save one, each one of you can save one box, we will have plenty of boxes. So please, save a box. Save a box for hot and humid. That's the motto. We had a secretary update that JJ provided, and it was pretty quick and concise. It was about the elections, but we had no elections because we had a single nominee in every category, so everybody ran unopposed. So this is the election choices. It's also the election results. So for 2026, the board for Brewers Anonymous will be President Mike Thompson. Vice President will be myself, Matt Hunsworth. Secretary JJ Ocampo. Treasurer Christy Hunsworth. And Archivist Chris Newber. So thank you, Christy and Chris, for stepping in to the vacant roles. And thank you to Kenny and Trevor, Kenny McCord and Trevor Golden, for their years of service in those roles prior to this. So thank you for that. You got us through a pretty significant growth change and a lot of improvements, and it was a team effort. So thank you again, everybody. And we look forward to what the new team is able to do in the new year. Since last meeting, we had Tom and Dan's Bad at Business, and Tom and Dan's Bad at Business for Brewers Anonymous is fairly legendary. We always draw a huge line. We always run out of beer, and it's always a great time. In fact, the pictures speak for themselves. The upper left-hand corner is when the line really got going, and kind of another shot of that. In the bottom left-hand corner, upper right-hand corner, I want to give a shout-out to Curtis Redicliffe. He's the guy in the khaki pants, blue shirt, and the kind of army green hat. He's a member. He came, he brought a beer, and he also, since we had such a long line, was going out there telling everybody what the choices were and answering questions about it. So as people were coming through, they knew exactly what they wanted. They weren't standing there looking at all the signs. They said, give me this. We gave them that, and we moved on, and we kept that line moving. Even if you walked into to the back of the line when it's at its longest, you didn't wait all that long, not as long as it could have been. Thank you to Curtis's help. In fact, because of that, we ran through... My wife had made a butterbeer flavored seltzer, and it's flavored like the butterbeer at Universal Studios in the Harry Potter lands, if you've ever been there. And we had 5 full gallons of that, and we're pouring 2 to 3 ounce pours, and we ran through it in 72 minutes. That's the fastest I think we've ever kicked a full keg. And then we ran out of everything by the end. We actually shut down like 20 minutes early, that sucked that we, for the people waiting for beer, but it was nice for us because we beat the traffic out of there. From a selfish standpoint, I was happy about that. I did talk about this last week, just as a recap. We were one of 5 homebrew clubs that were asked to sit on this panel by the American Homebrewers Association called Building Better Homebrew Clubs. And at the time, when I had talked about this, it had taken place, but it wasn't online yet. The recording is now online. It's on their YouTube channel. It's super, super easy to find. Search American Homebrewers Association on YouTube. And in fact, you'll see a picture of me. This thing's an hour and 40 minutes long, and they decided to use a frame of me as the thumbnail. I don't know why they decided to do that, but that's what it is. So easy to find, at least. You know what I look like. So there you go. What else? Here we go. Oh, 12 beers at Christmas, which was 11 beers, but hey, 12 brews. I'm sorry. Beers. It's been 12 beers since I've been a club member until this year. It's going to take a little time to get used to saying that. And here's everything that was there. We're almost through them. I think we have like 2 left. What day is it of this recording? No, 1 tonight. Yeah, 2 left because Christmas Eve will be the last one. Wow, I didn't realize we ran through that quickly. But thank you to everybody that participated. It's always fun. It's always different. It's always a nice variety. It's a fun variety. It's a better way to say it. A fun variety of beers. So thank you everyone that participated in that. And I am looking forward to wrapping up this one because they've all been fun so far. And I'm looking forward to doing this again next year. I always try to participate if I have the time and the means to. So thanks again, everybody, for that. And it finally happened. We've been talking about this since Hot and Humid because that's where it was announced. Jason Breckling's Hefeweizen collaboration was brewed at Celebration Brewing Company. It happened, Wednesday, we'll say mid-December because I don't have a calendar in front of me. Although I'm sitting in front of a computer, you think I could pull one up, but it was mid-December. He brewed it the whole full 10 barrels of Hefeweizen. Now, it's a little adjustment to his recipe because they had to adapt to what they had in inventory and were willing to buy specially for this. But it's still, Jason had his say in it. He helped develop the recipe. He helped brew it. And with that, when it is tapped, we're going to have a club event at the tapping. We don't have the date yet. We understand it's probably going to be right after the New Year, possibly. Somewhere around that time. Location, of course, can be Celebration Brewing. And any member that shows up, the club is going to pay for your first pint of Jason's beer. So come on out. Thanks, Celebration, for what they did. Celebrate Jason's win and just have a good time. If you haven't been to Celebration Brewing yet, you're going to be in for a treat. It's one of my favorite ones. And I'm not just saying that because it's one of the closest ones to me. It is also one of my favorite ones, regardless of its distance. Competition updates. All right, here we go. Coconut Cup has finally posted its dates, and it's fast approaching than you may think because the holidays are about to fly by us here. And entry registration opens on the 12th. That's not even 2 weeks into the year. That's 2 days short. In case you didn't realize 2 weeks is 14 days. I guess maybe I didn't realize that until I said it just now. And then the delivery date's a month after that. That's fair enough time to brew something that's not needing a lot of aging and complexity, but it's still like this is going to be one of those that is here before you know it. So keep that in mind if you didn't already see those dates. Event locations at Rocketeer Brewing. The limit is 305. I say 305. That's the area code for the area, but it's 305 limit. 2 style entry limits per brewer, which is pretty typical, and 3 bottles per brewer, which is also typical. The award ceremony is going to be even a month past that. March 14th, 2026. We don't have a club driver yet or a drop-off location or a date and time. When we do, it'll definitely be on Discord and very likely will be in our next meeting because the meeting will be will be roughly a month, about more like 3 weeks before the entry delivery date. So we're probably not whoever drives is probably not going to go down until that final week, maybe even that day. So we should be able to share that in the meeting, but it'll definitely be on Discord as well. Little beer for thought. For this competition season, there's only 2 clubs that have had 3 consecutive wins since the Florida circuit has become a thing. And one is Tampa Bay Beers from 2008 to 2010. The other is us, Brewers Anonymous, 2023 to 2025. Huge accomplishment. I'm not taking anything away from that at all. In fact, I had a cake made for that. That's how happy I was about this. It's a huge accomplishment. But with that in mind, there are no clubs that ever had 4 consecutive wins. And right now, we're the only one in position to do that. No one else can because of our past 3 years wins. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to pressure anybody to compete because I don't like to be pressured. But if you weren't aware of that fact, it's something I wanted to share. Festivals, oh man. So like you get a ton of festivals, you get a break, you get a ton of festivals, you get a break, and we're back on a ton of festivals, starting with Saturday, January 24th, 2026, Science on Tap. It is a very fun festival, though. It's at the Science Center. It's actually in the park across from the Science Center. Orlando Science Center hosts it. We're always invited. We always participate. In fact, we're committed again this year. It's a lot of fun. Along with that, we're also committed to Cocoa Village Brewers Bash, which is just right after that, not too far after that, February 7th. I believe that comes out the 2 weeks after that. But that is a fantastic, Riverfront Park is a fantastic venue. There's an event I do down there every year after Thanksgiving, and I love that park. So I have yet to participate or attend this. And I think for like 3 years in a row now, I've said, I want to attend this. I want to attend this year. I don't know yet. It's too early to tell if I can, but I really want to do that. Brews Around the Zoo. This is interesting. So they've moved it up 2 months. It was in April last year. I'm not sure it was the year before that, but it definitely last year was in April. And it's 2 days this year, February 21st and February 22nd, Saturday and Sunday. If we were asked if that's something we're capable of doing, we missed that email. And to my knowledge, I don't know that anyone else was asked that either, because that's a huge ask for donations of beer, 2 days worth. So I'm not sure what's happening with that. We haven't gotten an official invite to it. And I'm not entirely sure we're actually going to do it anyway, because we already got completely killed with one day where we had to close. We had a ton of taps and we had to close them over an hour early. I don't know what that's. Now you're asking, that's a lot of money out of brewers' pockets. That's the thing. I don't know if that's something we discuss much or not, or even tell anybody when they invite us to this. Our brewers pay for their beer. Now we're getting to a little bigger ask than I'm comfortable with. I'm not going to speak for everybody. So we're putting a pin in this until we know more, but if there's anything to talk about, it'll certainly be on Discord. And again, we'll be able to talk about it the month before the January meeting, because that'll be more than a month before, or roughly a month before this event. Then there's 3 in 1 day. Of these 3, we were committed to one, and that's the one on the left, the Hamlin Craft Beer Festival. That's basic. That's the closest thing until Prost Fest actually happened. That's the closest thing to our festival. So we've already committed to that. We may do Sanford Pints and Paws, because that's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest one in the area. And we like participating in that, and we like raising money for dogs. I do, at least. And I know Mike does as well. So we'll probably do that, but we haven't reached out and committed yet. I would love to go back to Hogtown Craft Beer Festival, because we did do that one year, but we're not going to, apart from any kind of compliments or conversations we'll have that day, we're not going to get anything out of it. I mean, if anyone gets interested in home brewing, they're already in Gainesville. They're going to go to Hogtown. So we're more inclined to do what's our backyard is Hamlin. The neighbor's backyard is Sanford. So that's where we're going to concentrate first. So that's probably the only 2 we're going to do that day. And then we are not pouring at this, but I wanted to point this out. Best Florida Beer Brewers Ball. That's Sunday, March 8th. They're saying on their website at 1:30 they're going to have a Homebrew Club of the Year and Homebrewer of the Year presentation. We've never attended this as a group. We've had individuals attend this, but we've never attended this as a club. And I'm encouraging people to go. And hopefully, and what I've been told actually is that they've posted before that they have a Homebrew Club of the Year presentation, but they don't do it. And that may be because we haven't been there, and just 1 or 2 people. I don't know. So I can't promise that's actually going to happen from what I've been told, but hopefully it does. And I'm going to try to get out there because I've never been to it. And again, get some kind of, regardless if they have a presentation or not, they do include at least a homebrewer of the year. So there's a homebrew aspect to the event. So it would be good for us as being 3P champions to make some kind of presence. That's my feelings on it. I'm not going to force anyone to do this. I'm going to try to do it. It's more than, well, it's not quite more. No, it is more than, it's about 3 months out from when I'm recording this. So I can't commit yet, but hopefully I can. We'll see. So BJCP training updates. I think all of this is the same as before. We do have our judging exam date confirmed. We also have the space reserved, which was a perfect space for an exam like this. I don't think I've ever seen a better space for where we had this exam. I'm so happy that we're able to do it in the same place again. David Fetty is administering it. Right now it's open to 12 seats. And if you are interested in getting ready for that exam, I think the below is a pretty doable schedule. January 26th comes around, get acclimated to the new year, start the online training somewhere around March or late March, early April, take the online entrance exam. And once you pass, sign up for your seat for the judging exam, and then take any opportunity you can to judge in competitions from then. In fact, even before then, if you want to, up until June 31st, including hot and humid, which will be right before all of this, and then take the exam. So I think that's a pretty doable and achievable schedule if you're interested in this. And again, JJ and I have discussed very briefly about starting a mead program, much like the one that's already on for beer on learn.brewersanonymous.org. So more on that as we get to it. Okay, the year of 2025 in review. We got quite a bit achieved again. Every year I say I can't believe how much we did this year, and then the next year I'm saying it again and again. I can't believe how much we did this year, starting with our festival appearances. That's 12 appearances on there. Science on Tap, Brewers Bash, Hamlin Craft Beer Fest, Pints and Paws, Brews Around the Zoo, Smash Fest, our first ever Smash Fest, actually, something we've been trying to do for years. Crispy Boy, the first ever Crispy Boy, along with the first ever Pros Fest, Space Coast Beer Fest. That's our return to that. We have been to that before, but not in the past year or two. Windermere Craft Beer Fest has returned, and we returned along with them Orlando Beer Fest and Tom and Dan's Bad at Business. Along with that, our competition numbers are, we are not by any means the biggest club in Florida. In fact, we're probably one of the smaller clubs in Florida that have a circuit competition. But with that, we still submitted 452 entries. 106 of those won, which is a 35% win rate, which is completely insane. That is a huge number. But even bigger than that is that of those 160, 10% of those, 16 of them, were best in show medals of some sort. Silver, bronze, and gold. That's the wrong order, but you get what I'm saying. Those are all counted in that. So that is a huge achievement with the number of brewers that we have. We have some of the best brewers in Florida in our club, and we are insanely lucky to have that. The competition breakdown, we started off I think we already kind of threw in the towel as far as expectations went when we got second place at Coconut Cup. Then we were a little more revitalized with our first place at Hurricane Blow-Off, and I guess that third place win, which is something we don't say much about our club at Hogtown Brew-Off, kicked something into high gear, because ever since then, Hot and Humid, First Coast Cup, Commander Saws, Sunshine Challenge, and Best Florida Beer, we got first place. And of course, that led to us being the Homebrew Club of the Year, of the first circuit three-peat in 15 years. That is a long time. That's longer than I've been brewing. And some highlights of the year, as I said a few slides ago, 12 festivals. We had a repeat People's Choice Awards at Hamlin. We have been the only brewer, anyone that has only tent. I can't even say we're a brewery. The only tent at Hamlin who's ever won People's Choice. So we'll see what happens this year. Second place People's Choice at our first ever Smash Fest. Smash Fest has been going on for a long time, and we could not get in until this year. And when we finally did, we took second place. We helped launch the inaugural Pros Fest, which we're already starting the preliminary planning of for 2026. Our fourth Homebrew Club of the Year win. We've been fixating on the three-peat, but let's not forget, we also won in 2019. Our club's only been around for 8 years, so half our life we've been the state champions. The return of the BJCP judging exam to Orlando, best I can tell, it's been somewhere around 20 years since there's been a judging exam in Orlando. We brought it back, and now it's coming back again as a yearly thing. We had our first member collab with Celebration Brewing. Not our first member collab, but our first one at Celebration Brewing. We'll see if that can lead to more. And of course, Hot and Humid 2025 was a huge success. So before we wrap up, I want to thank everyone for an amazing year. Again, I don't know how I continually say I can't believe what we did this year and how each year tops the one before it, but it does. And I expect 2026 to be the same. But we do have one more thing to discuss here. And Mike's put these slides together. Now the moment you've been waiting for. Who won Brewer of the Year? Here's the results. This is as of the December challenge. You see Eric Rodriguez, 213 points, Austin Brown, 201, and JJ Ocampo with 123, which means congratulations to Eric Rodriguez as being the 2025 Austin P. Harris Brewer of the Year for Brewers Anonymous. And thank you, everybody, for your participation. To have numbers as high as they were in the top three means we've entered, collectively, I guess, we've entered a lot of beers in a lot of competitions. And that is just fantastic. I can't thank you all enough. And it made it a very interesting year. I think the past 2 years have been pretty much blowouts, but Austin coming in and getting like just an almost unimaginable number of best of shows put the pressure on Erod at the end. So it was pretty, it was very close, as you saw. But thank you, everybody for participation, and congratulations to everybody for all their wins. And in particular to Eric, of course, and I'm going to include Austin and JJ in that too for being the top three. So congratulations to you as well. Here's a quick summary of what's coming up. Tom and Dan's has already passed. Science on Tap's coming. Brewers Bash, Brewers Around the Zoo, Hamlin, Pints and Paws in Hogtown, and the 2026 Brewers Ball. We just discussed all those, but at a glance, here's a quick look at those dates. Last but not least, I think, well, before the thank you slide, we have the merch store. There's the QR code if you've not visited it prior. And now, finally, I can say thank you. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for all the videos that you have followed throughout the year. Like I said, this is kind of a redundant video to the meeting video that came out, but I did all the other 11 ones, and I really wanted to wrap this up. And if you're watching this and you've watched any of those, thank you for taking the time to watch those. I'm pretty excited about the meeting videos that we're going to do, and pretty excited about what that opens up my time for some other things like what I'm doing now, but not necessarily the monthly recap. So more on that in 2026. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope to see you all very soon at the next meeting and throughout the year. Can't wait to see what 2026 brings, and whatever it is going to bring, it's not going to bring without your help, your participation, and support. So once again, thank you for all that, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon.